there's certain funds that we have to now, give to the road fund at the end of the year.
It's rainy day in general fund.
That's what goes to the county.
Road fund.
No, that goes to the county
Road
road fund. The EMS, that's in our, CUNE fund, I'm pretty sure is what you're referring to.
It's restricted.
And it's restricted, but it would, we can build that up. So we're only obligated to give what we have contracted with them and the
It's
fire.
not that at the end of the year, when the county starts this road thing where we have to,
Not that fund. No, it's only general and rainy day.
okay. So we need to spend it, huh?
The general and the rainy day.
Or we're gonna be able to be building roads.
We have no problem spending that money. You'll find out in this meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Okay, 12:04 PM, we'll go ahead and start our meeting. Matt has joined us today in your packet. I think I put him in the wrong order, but we have text. There's some issues going on with some of the equipment, so I'll let him explain it.
All right. Well, I'd like to let you know that one of the things we're working on right now is engine 2. So I just got informed last week that one of the check engine lights came on. To try to save a little bit of money, we've actually sent it out to the street department. The street department has equipment to at least diagnose it. They have changed out a couple parts already, very minimal cost. That did not fix the problem. Now, after they've done it and sent the information to Stoops over in Lafayette, who is that dealer for that engine, they said it's a actuator and or possibly going to be the turbo on this engine. And I was concerned, and I let her know everything's going on. Right now, they're looking at, it's about $2,000 roughly for an actuator, and I think it's like $6,000 for a turbo. However, we're not there yet. We're at the actuator now. They've ordered them. It should be in. He said he'll be able to know if the turbo is bad by at least changing the actuator out first. But you're looking at, with that, all the fluid costs, we're probably going to be just a little over $10,000 for parts and repair. I have not worked out the deal with the city yet on how typically they work on our trucks during their time that they're on duty. So I don't know why there would be any conflict with that. But if he ends up coming in on a weekend, I have to do it. I may have to subsidize that overtime. So just kind of to keep you in the loop of what's going on with that truck. That is the newest engine 2 truck. Didn't really expect to have problems already. But
Yeah, there wasn't any kind of warranty or anything on that.
no, warranty pretty much expires after 12 months.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough.
Why have one?
There is a few other warranties that were out there that lasted about 2 years, but again, this truck's a 2000, so we've already exceeded all of those warranties. So I kind of wanted to keep you in the loop with that. The other thing I just wanted to bring up, I've been talking with Jamie about, was, we talked about the grass truck or the brush truck. We've talked a little bit about it. I've been getting some prices. I'm working with 3 different companies right now to try to get some idea on the prices. One company has given me a price. I will not mention them by name. I'm just not really confident with their price. It was extremely high. We're talking $430,000. I was expecting $200 to $250 for one. But again, we haven't spec'd one out basically ever in my career, so I don't know what those costs have gotten up to. I'm talking to one company out of Indianapolis right now, or another company out of Indianapolis. They're going to meet with me. He's on vacation to get a price. I told him I'd like to have that price before the end of September to make sure you have that with you, but I'll get it to Jamie as soon as I get that information. Another company is actually out of Mississippi that we're working with. That company seems like they might actually be one of the best fits for us. They kind of like keep things basic, and we don't need all the bells and whistles. We just need something that functions and will do the job. We don't need, extra hoses and extra compartments. So we're really kind of looking at, I'm I'm gonna be curious to see what he wants to do in Mississippi, but obviously I'll give all that information to you and I'll allow you guys to make that decision on what direction you guys would like to go. So hopefully by the end of September, I'll have all of it ready and I'll give it a packet to Jamie and she can give it out to everybody here. One of the questions that I would have for you is when are you wanting to purchase this vehicle? And the reason I'm asking is lead times. So the only reason I'm asking is because right now, two of the manufacturers, which is large manufacturers, they're 2 years out from having it ready. This company in Mississippi, they have the chassis already in stock and they can have them done in 6 months. And they're custom, so they're not something that's just, and they actually are custom units. But I just wanted to know because I'm sure they're gonna start asking me, whenever you want to purchase this, just so you guys know as well, there is an upfront savings typically with the bigger manufacturers. So if you pay for something up front, then the amount of money that you would pay in the end would be minimal. Well, I'd say minimal, but I'll just use an example of fire truck. If we bought the fire truck and we paid cash for it, we got like $160,000 off the price of the truck, which is a considerable amount of money. Mainly they just do it, it's all based on a prorated amount per month. So if they say they're 2 years out, they charge you this much interest for 2 years. So the sooner you pay it, the cheaper it could be. Now the one in Mississippi, I just spoke to him today to get everything kind of set up, and so I will not know exactly if they have a prepayment option or not.
You'll only send us what you would recommend right now, just send out everything and then.
I've reached out to 3. I feel comfortable with 2 of them. Obviously, they're big manufacturers of fire equipment. The third one is the one out of Mississippi. I'm just curious to see what they want to offer. I will tell you that Kirkland Township has just purchased a vehicle off of them, a brand new one, at a very reasonable price. And Rossville has just placed an order with them on them a brush truck. So it sounds like they have a lot of interest in the south. Obviously, they're not much up here towards the north, but just kind of wanted to get that information out to you guys so you at least know. And then if you guys come up with a date or time frame you're wanting to purchase something, and then it helps me at least let them know where we're at when we do get ready to. But all the contracts, I've already told them it'll all be through Center Township. So just so you guys know, everything will come to you at some point. When I get all the legwork done, I can give the information to Jamie and you guys can do with it what you would like.
Did we discuss that in our, at the last meeting when we first talked about that? I don't recall what
We did not, so the last payment on our truck now is next year.
Okay.
So we have 2 payments left on it, so we've already made our final payment for this year. And that's our largest fund, our fire fund is. So I would be okay if you guys would be okay for the next couple of years to purchase. I think we'd be okay with the money wise that way.
To start purchasing this one, could we make payments on it at the same time with the fire truck? Okay,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah.
as early as next year we could start.
Okay, well, I just wanted to, like I said, they'll give me some information, I'm sure. I already know one of the manufacturers told me they're close to 2 years. The other one I spoke to, they said they feel that they're close to 2 years. But the last one I spoke to said, he said he can have one done by January. And I was like, whoa, that's really quick. So, and I think, was that all I had, Jim?
Has Kirkland, do they have theirs yet or they just ordered one?
They should have delivery, I would say within the next 60 days. But theirs a little different because they actually bought a tanker.
Okay.
Where Rossville actually buying the brush truck. He is supposed to send me pictures of these and get back with me probably tomorrow. I mean, to actually spec one out for one in Mississippi. I gave him kind of what we're looking for, just so you're aware. We're looking for about a 400-gallon tank, which is about what we carry now. I'm looking for a booster wheel, which is pretty standard, to have on the back, which is just a 1.5-inch hose that you can pull off the truck and use, like in the wooded area. We did ask for a foam system on it. Those generally, especially from that size, isn't going to cost us a couple $1,000 to have that. Other than that, I've really just told them that I wanted the controls in the cab They will have a monitor nozzle either on the front bumper or on the top, where you don't have to get out into the fire anymore. You can just do it off the inside. And then as far as storage goes, I told him we are open on storage. It's going to have storage because they all come that way now with storage compartments. So we just need the basic. We don't have a lot of, our slapsticks and stuff that we have. We, to be honest with you, we probably used it one time in the last 27 years. So it's not something we typically need. We don't have a lot of forestry near us.
Sure.
Other questions? You guys have questions? We appreciate you keeping us up to date on this.
Hey,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah,
No
see
problem.
what they come back with.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Now, the one you sent me from Stoops, that's not a final invoice, right?
No,
It's just an
that's
estimate.
just an estimate.
Okay.
He gets all his equipment from Street Power. They get all their stuff from Stoops.
Okay.
Because they manufacture these engines. So it's easier for him to get that. So he got that information for me to let you know
Okay.
how much the prices of these items are going to be.
Okay.
With him doing the install, again, I'll work that out later, but with the city doing the install right now, hopefully everything will come back just fine. I should bring up, I'm sorry, I did forget this, real quick, the tanker that we
I
all.
was getting ready to ask you that question.
So I've sent Jamie pictures, and I know she doesn't know what the pictures probably were. But apparently sometime over the course of the life of this truck, something has gotten into the pump and has destroyed the internals of the pump. That is now costing us a little bit more money. I think last time, if I'm not mistaken, did I say it was like a little over 10,000 now? I think for the pump. It's still there. It's still being repaired. I expect to have that truck back probably by the end of this week. All the parts they were able to source, so we don't have any part issues. It's just a matter of them getting them in, and they expected us to hopefully have it by the end of this week, barring that we have no more trouble or any problems pop up. To go back to the chassis, when we had the chassis all repaired, I don't know if you've got any of that information yet, but I'll get that to you as soon as I get it from them. But that chassis repair is a little bit more extensive too than what we originally planned, because I know we talked and you said we had the money, you allocated a little bit more money.
Right.
But it ended up needing new ball joints added. The suspension, I ended up having to have some suspension work done to it. Again, that truck is 28 years old, so we knew it was going to have problems. And I don't want to sound mean about anybody, but I will just tell you a funny story, is that this truck has popped like that since I can remember. Okay? And when they got finished, they said, hey, this truck's popping really bad. We need to look into it. And that's when they found out there's some spring issues. And I said, well, you might as well repair it while it's there. So maybe out of 27 years, it won't pop anymore. So just to keep you up to date on that. And again, I have been keeping Jamie in the loop on everything that kind of keeps popping up and going on. But just big repairs this year on everything.
It's hit all at once.
I'm telling you, it's hit all in the last 2 years. It's constantly. So.
When your equipment gets old, it's not that it's not being used.
I always say, I always tell the city, just so you guys are aware, for the upcoming future and other next fire chief stuff, is that it literally, I'm just letting you know that they say 15 years on an apparatus generally. And then you have to start replacing it. 20 years is about the max. So we have trucks, obviously that truck's 27 years old now. Do I think that tanker needs to be replaced after this work? I don't believe it will. I think it's going to last us for a lot longer because it's not driven every single day. However, when we look at fire trucks or whatever in the future, just keep that in mind that they say the average life is 15 years, 20 if you're lucky.
So once we get the grass truck
Mm-hmm.
on its way and purchased, a fire truck, you were saying then, that we bought one, that's what, just a couple of tanker, just two, right, that we purchased?
I think it was in 2020 when Kevin was here.
Yeah, Kevin was still.
The tanker, or are you talking about the engine?
Engine.
Engine two, yeah, engine two. Engine two was purchased as a 2019, was purchased and delivered in 2020. So that's engine two, and then the lease payment I think you guys paid was engine one. Is that correct? You paid the lease payment on engine one. That's went away now. I mean,
Yeah.
the lease payment's been gone.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that truck now is 12 years old, so we constantly.
But
Yes.
we should look at that as our next line of item once we get the grass truck taken care of. And
Yeah, I think if Center Township and the board chooses to, I think in the next 10 years, you need to be, honestly, I'd probably say the next 8 years, you might be thinking about, another truck for engine two. I only say that because they're a couple year lead time on these trucks. So, that would get you that close to 15 years out of that truck. So just pre-planning, correct.
yeah,
Any other questions for me?
I have a question, but it's not related to this truck.
Yeah.
The agreement with the city.
Yes, the contract with the city.
Is that something you want to address with all the board or just myself, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. We're still working on it.
Okay.
I have a
She has
draft, I
to-
just don't have what
We'll
we
just,
wanna put in it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So you'll reach out and schedule something?
yes, I
Okay.
sure will.
Okay, perfect.
Is it okay if I add something to my list? That's something I want to ask the Center Township possibly
Yeah.
for. We're looking at new programming for the fire service. And I'm talking, this is going to end up being countywide. So the numbers I give you will reflect both countywide and city of Frankfurt, which would be our Center Township. Right now, we use a software called ERS that does all our reporting. When you use, ERS was bought out by ISO. So I'm not trying to confuse you with all these, but ERS was bought out by ISO. ISO wants us to move to their platform, which is still ERS, but it's a different type of a platform. This platform that they're offering is a reporting program only, and it's about $50,000 to $60,000. Now that again, just keep that in mind, that number is countywide because that's how that contract's set right now, it's a countywide contract at that price. The city of Frankfurt has always paid a portion of that, which I pay a portion of that out of my budget for the types of software I need. Now, here's my caveat to the whole thing. We have that platform, which does reporting only, or we have a much better platform that will do so many things in the fire service that we've never had a capabilities of. It will tell you what hydrants, where hydrants are located. It'll tell you the volume that comes out of those hydrants. It'll tell you, we can do all pre-plans for every single building. So I will just tell you, it's a 100% coverage versus this is just, we do our reports on it. The question I may have for the board is, would there be a possibility of gaining some money maybe to fund our portion just for this year if we decide to do this? Right now, they gave us a quote countywide, and it is right around $55,000. With that being said, that's countywide. $10,000 of that money is for them to do all the setup, to get everything set up, everything put on the computers, get all of our knifers put in. With that being said, let me go ahead and just tell you our costs. Right now, we're looking at probably about $14,000 just to get the city of Frankfurt up and running if we chose to do it this year. If not, it's definitely something I wanted to talk to you guys about next year, is to help us. We have got a plan together as a fire department that we're going to work with the county to get them, obviously, to continue to pay their portion, which they pay right now about $22,000 for our ERS. So if we can get them to continue that, plus maybe increase their amount, then yearly from that point on, we're looking at about $45,000 a year total for the entire package countywide. So my question to you, since I gave all that to you, was: is there a possibility if we wanted to try to fund any of that this year? Would that be a possibility? I don't know what your guys' timing is for Any funds?
Is this like a one-time thing, or this is gonna be like 14,000 every year?
So it would be something, at this point, the 14,000 would just be what would get Frankfurt up and running. This would not be including the county. That would be where I would be at this year. As we move forward in the next years, I would see what that breakdown is between what city is and what county is. So that way I can justify where we're at.
And they'd be on the same system?
The county would be on the same system
Okay.
at some point, yes. But they bill us separately. They bill me separately for, like, I need the EMS module because we run on EMS calls.
Right.
So I have to have that. So I have to actually pay for that out of my budget versus the county paying for it. The county is not quite sure they want to fund a lot of this because they feel like ERS is what they pay for. But I don't think they understand, kind of like Don was saying earlier, I don't think they understand how the fire department needs to progress. And I can assure you that in reporting, it's not progressed at all in 27 years. And this would give every responder for the city and county, when the county was to come aboard, that they could really click a picture of the house, the address, it will show it outside of the house, and will show where the closest hydrants are. Everything would be done more virtually by seeing it firsthand before you arrive versus when you get there trying to figure out where everything is. So there's a huge platform, and I would definitely be willing to have that rep come in and show you guys a platform if you would like to see it versus what we have. But I assure you that it's any IFD has switched to it now. Carmel Fire Department is switching to it. Zionsville Fire Department is switching to it. So all the big metro areas are now switching to this program because it's more all inclusive versus having 2 or 3 programs running in the background.
What's that one called?
This one,
The new one?
First Due. It is spelled out first, F-I-R-S-T-U.
So if you choose to go to that one in the city this year, so the county, you're not for sure if they're even wanting to jump on board yet, or?
Yeah, because I don't want to speak for the county or work for them. I mean, we try to work out an idea. We're going to meet with the commissioners just to kind of discuss it a little bit more. But my concern is that I would like to get us moving in the right direction. Frankfurt Fire Department in the Center Township area. I'd like to get us moving in the right direction. If the county chooses not to get on board, then they can stay with their own programming and we would be switching. And I can assure you that, I know I gave you those big numbers, but my original contact with First Due, he told me we would be right around $11,000 a year just for the city, or for Frankfurt Fire Department. That is a yearly price for that software. So if for some reason we came up and I said, hey, could you help with this for the future as we continue to move on, it would be 11,000 or less, depending on what we are paying.
What did you say ERS would be if you just stuck with that?
If we stick with ERS, it's right now, I think the county is paying around 22,000. That is countywide.
Right.
22,000.
Okay.
However, if you switch to their platform, which is what eventually they're going to have to.
Mhm.
So I should have told you that. ERS is eventually going to go away because it was bought out by ESO. They're leaving the platform open because they're still finding problems and issues. I have been to their conferences 3 times now, and every year I go there, they say it's still running, don't worry, but one day it's just going to stop and you're going to have to switch to ESO,
Yeah.
which again is $60,000 is what they quote us to do countywide.
And that would be a continuing cost as well, right? Like a yearly cost?
ESO would be a
Yeah.
continuing cost every
Okay.
single year as well. But currently, Center Township doesn't pay anything towards that. And
Right.
my concern is if they don't even want to go to 45, we'll say, continuously for the entire county, I think they're going to have a really hard time coming up with the rest. I know talks have been talked about that they wanted to ask other townships to participate in funding this, but again, I won't speak for the county. I just know there's been conversations that asking other townships to participate in funding it. Just don't know if that will happen.
I feel like if it does more for the fire department than what your current program, I don't know why they wouldn't do it.
Right.
I would 100% agree with you. There's absolutely, because they would have to switch to something.
Mhm.
And there is a reporting system out there right now that the federal government will offer for free to fire departments, but it's, again, you're just doing a report, a fire report. And there's no added advantages to it. This program will allow hazmat members to click a button, it'll put all of our tier 2s into the system, so if we get a call where hazmat is, they click the button, they'll know every chemical, everywhere it's located at in that facility. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to a program like that. There's been many of those out there in the past, but we, as the fire departments in Clinton County, have never really pursued this. This was something I pursued almost 2 years ago working with this company and still haven't gotten too far with it. Sorry, that was a lot of information there. I just took up the whole meeting.
Okay.
So if you don't have any more questions, I will be happy to leave you with that information. And you guys can discuss it.
Do you need a response on the 14,000 for the first deal? Like a certain time date?
I don't have one right now. I don't have, I mean, it could be even less than that. I mean, this was if we met with him in August, because Josh Ewitz and me were working with this company. And we met with them in August and they kind of gave us a prorated what, if we wanted to try to get converted over this year,
Okay,
this would be about where it would be, because that would be their cost of putting all the programming in, getting all the tier 2 forms and all this, the overlays for the water system and Frankfurt, all of that. As we continue to move forward, that price would get less. I mean, we could be down to 3 months and they're trying to mitigate everything together and merge it, and it could be $5,000. You know what I mean? So I have no set monthly amount. I just know that I wanted to bring it up to you in case we wanted to move in that direction. I know that in my current budget right now with truck repairs that I've had throughout this year, that I'm pretty low. I know the city council right now, I'm going to them and asking for more appropriations for.
That's an aggressive.
Was going to be a little much, so I thought maybe that would be at least a good spot to start here to see if that would be something you guys would even want to talk about considering.
I think it's definitely possible. We just
Yeah.
need to know
So
more concrete.
yeah, and again,
When you get there.
if you guys said, hey, we would be willing to do something, I will definitely reach out to him this week. I can have an idea of, let's say I said, let's start October 1st, and he says, okay, for these 3 months, this is what it's going to cost X amount of dollars. And if that happens, I have a lot of legwork on my end, because now I have to figure out my funding for next year as well, because we can't start it for 3 months and then throw it out the window. And so we would have to go that direction. But I will get more concrete numbers. I will send them to Jamie as well, just so that way she has them once I find some more information out. And if you guys choose to want to do that, if you don't, that's your guys' choice. I will not. Okay. Well, thanks for having
Thank
me.
you so much.
Thank
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks,
You too.
Mark.
That was a lot of information. Just my tidbit of advice, thoughts, I guess. We have to do an additional appropriation for the rest of the money for all the repairs coming through for the fire department. So if this program is something you guys are wanting to do, it would be nice to go
Add that
ahead
in
of
there
time,
also,
so I can
yeah.
go ahead and add that
So
in.
we don't have to move more than one.
Yeah, and we can't do appropriations in December, so it'd have to be within the next couple of months if we're doing it this year.
Okay.
So just keep that as, back in mind.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go to approving the minutes from the August 1st meeting.
It looked good to me. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have the Boys and Girls Club Community Service Agreement. That's, I think we talked about it last meeting. It was for $10,000. Yeah, $10,000.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's that. You know, if you want to use your original copies, I haven't made a copy.
Oh, I don't care.
They're working. Next, we have The rainy day fund, we had to make a resolution because we couldn't find any, I couldn't find any resolution from previous years where it stated what we could use the rainy day fund for. So we did switch the 15,000 to rainy day fund, and we I had her do a resolution so we can use that for township assistance because we're completely broke again. In township assistance, we spent $150,000 this year. So if you guys are okay with me using that 15,000 for township assistance, we'll have to.
4 more months.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know what I'm gonna do the rest of the year, but I'm grasping for straws at this point.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I'm
You're the president, right?
I think everybody has to sign.
Yeah, that's the
Two
second
pages.
page. to
Oh,
that.
second page.
Yeah. Next I have, movement of funds, so this is for, appropriation I did a couple months ago. I moved it to other services and charges, but because they're doing most of them in repair and maintenance, I want to move them up to the repair and maintenance category to keep them more clean. So I'm gonna move 27,000 from the other services and charges up to repairs and maintenance, and it's a different category, so I have to get you guys' approval for that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You're moving it from other services to what?
Repairs and maintenance.
Just make sure I write it down right.
The next is the capital improvement plan. I sent it to you guys, I don't know if you have time to look at it or not, I included papers in there as well. I just did what I thought we had, in the future that we had talked about for future capital improvements. Obviously now I can add on the fire truck and everything we think we might be doing in the future, but as of right now, that's all we need to be compliant with this program. And I talked to State Board of Accounts, and they said that as far as the 27, 28 taxes we could come in, that would be coming in, I can put zeros if I wasn't for sure what they'd be, because I don't know what they're gonna be since the certified shares and stuff are on the line. So I just left them as zeros. It's not gonna affect us, but this will keep us compliant and let us get our tax shawl for next year. So we had to do a resolution to adopt that capital improvement plan.
Have we had a public hearing on it yet?
That's what this is.
Okay, so we're having a public hearing today?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to recess the meeting, open the public hearing, there is no public, and then close the public hearing, and then we can go back to our meeting
Okay.
first.
Okay.
So,
So do you wanna do this at the end so we can just recess and then go to this?
I mean, it doesn't matter, we can do it right now, we just
Just
have
because
to
we'll
say.
have to open
we
and
just-
close and then open again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
To make,
so
okay.
it doesn't,
Whatever.
so if we wanna recess it right now at 12:37,
Okay.
Let's do that.
and then we open the public hearing,
Okay. The public hearing is at 12:37.
is there any member of the public who wishes to be heard? So at 12:38, we can close the public hearing
Okay.
and reopen the meeting. Okay, now you can vote on that. I just want to make sure we did that because my resolution says that we have had our public hearing.
Okay.
So if you did not have it, then we would be lying.
I'll make a motion to approve the capital improvement plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Not any of this. I forgot we had to do that, sorry.
And then I have the road and infrastructure fund resolution, if you want to do that or not.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do it, you know, if we can do it, then do this on here, right?
Yeah. Yep. You can add American business.
So we'll add that road and infrastructure fund, we had to create that fund. So there's a resolution for that as well. I didn't include that, but I can let you guys look at it if you want to, here's the resolution.
Basically this just follows the format that we're required to follow to establish the fund. But it basically establishes the fund that we're required to establish for the remaining funds or that percentage or whatever of funds and rainy day in general. That's where that will go after this year. So that establishes that.
So it's 30% of the unbudgeted funds for general fund and rainy day fund is what would have to go into this. But they've not said specifically we have to put it in there for 2025. So we're good, we just have to start, we
Just have to have it.
Make it
Yes.
Have to
Sure.
open the front, okay.
Yes,
I will make a motion to approve that as a resolution,
yes.
the roads and infrastructure resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Okay.
And then the other thing I have is, last time we had talked about purchasing an ATV. So I have a community services agreement, I just have a blank for the amount, because we didn't know how much that was. So if we still don't know how much that is, we can just hold that.
they were supposed to be getting back to us, we haven't heard anything. from
Yeah, he's
this
still
department.
working on quotes, he's trying to find the best deal, so.
Cool, and then we can hold off on that one, but it is ready for whenever we get a number.
I printed it, put it on my desk. Last thing I have is, this is the first budget reading. Thank you. I, obviously, as you just heard, has had a lot of expenses in, township assistance this year. So I have pretty much emptied any kind of poor relief money. So next year I put that we are moving everything, like, right now I have Dina and my investigator pay out of poor relief, but I'm moving them to the general fund, which helps us with our 30% we have to transfer. So they're no longer in the poor relief fund, so that's one change I did. However, I do think that we might need to eliminate an employee if we keep having the amount of township assistance that we have. So I did that. I'm also gonna get rid of, it's in here, but I'm gonna get rid of the office cleaning for next year. So we can have more money in this. So I didn't put anything for local service partnerships but 5,000. So if Tom Jameson with Sharp does want something, it would have to come out of that line item, but we'd have to appropriate money in that line item. Let's see. I put in 110,000 for housing and 40,000 for utilities and fuel. I don't think that's gonna be enough, but that's all we can do. So that's where we're at right now. I don't know if you guys have any questions. I was kind of hoping we'd sell the building so we could put that money in the general fund and we could have more use for township assistance on the general fund. But the person that looked at it last week wasn't interested either, so.
I mean, I guess at least we're still having people look at it.
Yeah, we did. Well, the one person looked at it a couple weeks ago, Dina was here, and she was telling all kinds of bad stuff about the neighbor and everything else, so I made sure to tell Dina to keep her mouth shut
Don't
this
do that
time.
either.
I said, we need to sell this building, so please do not talk to the realtor or anything. If they have questions, they can contact our realtor, if we need to get this building sold. So. This is, like I said, this is just the first reading, so if I do need to make changes, we can, and the next meeting is gonna be on the 14th, I believe is what I have on there.
And you don't need any of that, right?
No. Let me verify that's what I advertised. 15th, sorry, September 15th, so. Obviously, you guys can look at that and whatever you think needs to be changed, I can change. I didn't put any, money for bilingual staff in there because our investigator is bilingual. So, she's still kind of new and I don't know how great she's learning her job, but I'm still working with her to try to do it. She doesn't interact very well with the clients. And I think it's just because it's new and she's not used to interacting with people. So I'm still working with her to see what we can do.
But she's bilingual.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Other than that, I reduced everything, like, as much as I could. I don't think I can reduce any further. Well, I can. If we get rid of, we can cut my salary and then we can cut the front desk resource and just make a bilingual person as the front desk person. Is how we can produce more.
I don't know
I
that
mean,
I care for
I
those ideas.
Yeah. We hate to do that unless we have to.
And I think cemeteries maybe a little bit more next year. I still put in 15,000, but we need to get that building tore down. I didn't get any quotes this year for it, so, yeah, that's where we're at. I almost just wish they would have done away with Township, so we didn't have to skip by. Unfortunately,
They're not making it easy, that's for sure.
no. That's all I have for this meeting.
We don't need any action on that, we just
No.
look at it.
Are we good? No questions? Okay,
Nothing to do.
12:44. Thank you, guys. That was a lot of information.
That's a lot.
This is my contract letter for the police,
Okay.
PSA. Just saying, I'm not negotiating anything, I'm just putting it together, and because I'm just putting it together, I'm just not constant it out.
You good?
Thank you. Have a good day.
I'll have to do one for the fire department too. I haven't done it yet.
Anything else?
No, but when Scott finds out, he's sending me a signed copy. Thank you, guys.
And Chief Stidham hasn't talked to you about what he wants in that contract yet, has he?
No, he just said that we need to discuss it, and that's why I was trying to get out of him now, but.
Okay, yeah, I thought he was coming to discuss that.
No.
I didn't realize he was discussing all the other things,
Oh.
but I have a draft of the contract done, I just need, you guys have to figure out what the terms are. And let me know, and I'll-
I assumed it was gonna be multiple years, but then I got thinking next year's technically my last year unless I run again. So can you guys do that, a multiple year contract, even if,
You can, but you have to have the ability to get out of it if they refuse. I mean, the board would have to approve it. So if we have the same board, it wouldn't be an issue, but if we have a different board, then.
yeah, I didn't ask, but I'm pretty sure they're all running again, so
Okay.
I think we should go here. Okay.
Anyway,
Thank you so
all right,
much.
thank you.